Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin will get underway later this morning, opening statements, giving some insight into the legal strategies on both sides.
You will learn that the last 9 minutes and 29 seconds of Mr. Floyd's life, he was only alive for part of that period of time, but it matches the patterns of somebody who dies from an oxygen deficiencies.
And you will learn that Derek Chauvin did exactly what he had been trained to do over the course of his 19-year career. The use of force is not attractive, but it is a necessary component of policing.
It was no doubt an emotional first day where jurors watched the infamous video now of George Floyd begging for his life. Court TV legal correspondent Chanley Painter joining us now with how we can expect things to unfold today. Good morning to you, Chanley. Thanks for being here. Let's get into it because
good morning, Dan and Betty.
Let's get into the graphic cell phone video of George Floyd's arrest, shown in its entirety on day one, and it again was hard to watch. Derek Chauvin's attorney being criticized for not even acknowledging how disturbing the video was to watch. What can you tell us about their legal strategy on day one?
Well, right out of the gate in opening statements for the defense, the theme emerged of reasonable doubt, trying to raise that doubt from the prosecution's case, as well as the theme of common sense. The defense wanting to point out the resistance, that this was not an easy struggle for officers during the arrest of George Floyd in 2020, that the crowd was dangerous and escalated the situation to the point that they are even pointing the finger at the bystanders surrounding this incident. And then also the defense points out the cause of death is different from what the prosecution wants to say, the knee on the neck. The defense saying that the cause of death was cardiac arrhythmia, and there's no signs of mechanical or positional asphyxiation. So we see the defense trying to approach this from the reasonable doubt, and for the jurors to use their common sense that this is more than just about that 9 minutes and 29 seconds.
Yeah, it's really interesting how they are tackling this, but let's get to the prosecutor. Jerry Blackwell rejected the idea that George Floyd died because of drugs. He's going to be defending Floyd's reputation during this trial. How difficult is that going to be?
You know, the judge, through many pretrial motions, has limited what this jury will hear about George Floyd's past. This was heavily litigated between the parties in motions. So the jury will hear some limited information about a previous arrest of George Floyd from 2019 that the defense fought hard to get in because there's similarities between the arrest, that George Floyd ingested drugs during the arrest and almost died. But the judge limiting everything else from George Floyd's past, which is pretty standard in a trial like this under the rules of evidence. Yeah. So unless the prosecution brings in some character evidence, it's going to stay out.
Yeah, we're actually looking on your screen right now, Chanley, a video of that knee on the neck from a different vantage point, right? We hadn't seen that video before yesterday. I want to get to the two witnesses that took to the stand yesterday. One of them, a Minneapolis police dispatcher. Let's play what she had to say.
What did you think about this when you looked back and saw that it hadn't changed?
I first asked if the screens had frozen.
Why did you ask that?
Because it hadn't changed.
Okay. And did you find that it had frozen?
No.
How did
I was told that it was not frozen.
Did you see the screen change yourself?
Yes, I saw the person's moving.
So what did you start thinking at that point?
Something might be wrong.
Remember, you must not. How damaging, Chanley, was her testimony coming from a police department employee?
Yeah, that's a reason why the prosecution started with her as #1 witness in their case in chief, because she's able to offer this never before seen camera video angle. It's really incredible what the jury was able to see and piece together. But the crux of her testimony, Dan, was about she, even as somewhere in a completely different location, had concern, so much concern about what she was seeing on the screen that she herself went outside of her duty, her job, to call the sergeant on duty to say, this doesn't look right, something's happening here, I just wanted to let you know. Now again, on cross-examination, the defense tried to counter that by showing that video, the squad car moving back and forth to go to their theme, which was this wasn't an easy struggle and how much resisting these officers had to deal with.
All right, Chanley, there's a lot going on here, and of course we'll continue to follow it. Thank you for taking a moment before the trial begins today to join us. We appreciate it.
Yeah, anytime.